We are not trying to prove ourselves to anybody. What's up, y'all? My name is Gabby if you're new here, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm gonna be telling y'all how to move after somebody has shown you their true colors. Now, I did make a video that was about how to move when somebody starts acting shady or start acting funny on you. So if you didn't see that, make sure you go back and check that out, because that is very important and it leads into this video. When somebody shows you their true colors, it can really take you back, especially if it's somebody that you didn't expect something from, and it will really leave you feeling some type of way, okay? And that could be hard to try to figure out how to move next, especially if it's somebody who really meant something to you. So in this video, that's what we are getting into, so you can know exactly what to do and how to do this in the most peaceful way that is best for you. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is take time to think on it. Think on how you feel and how you would actually feel moving forward with this person, because at this point there's only a few things that you can do. You can continue on with this person, remain talking to them, but just keep it cordial. You can love them from a distance, or you can move completely on. But I do want to add in, regardless of whatever avenue you decide to take, you do need to forgive them. And that's not forgiveness for them, that's forgiveness for you, because if you don't forgive them, you're going to be the one carrying all that heaviness. Get that off of your back and continue to live your life. So I did just want to let that be known. That is something that you should do regardless. But yeah, you have to think about it and figure out how you will want to move next with this person. And that really would just depend on how the last situation ended, who that person was, and what kind of place they have in your life. But whatever you decide ultimately is up to you, and you can't necessarily expect it to be a decision that you make overnight. This process, as well as the forgiveness process, does take time, and it's not something that you should rush. So just make sure that you take good quality time for yourself to really think about it and how you feel before you make the decision of what you want to do next. And the communication depends on what roadway you want to take with this person. So if you do want to continue to talk to this person, you are going to need to have another conversation with them. And I know, like, if you're not the type of person who's like really into talking like that, or into emotions or feelings and sharing thoughts, it might be cringy for you, but it's going to be something that you have to do, especially if you want to continue on in a healthy way with this person, because things have already been laid out. It's found out that somebody's showing their true colors. You're going to have to talk with this person again, or with these people, if you want to have anything real and solid. Now, if you don't want to try to continue with whatever you had going on and you just want to be cordial, in that case, I think there should still be a conversation, but it should be communicated.
Things are just not the same between us, but we can still be cool.
I think the same thing too. If you do decide that you want to love from a distance, or if you just don't want to have anything to do with them at all, that depends on how the conversation ended last time. If the situation was left hanging, or there was some sort of question mark, I do believe, for the sake of both of y'all and just getting everything out while you have the opportunity, that you should come back and have a conversation and just let it be known.
Hey, this is not for me. I tried. I'm moving on. I still love you.
Or I'm just done with you forever. Whatever it is, I do think that conversation should still be had, just for the mental health and benefit of both of y'all, and to give y'all that last opportunity to just sew it all up so y'all can get some closure. The only time I would say a conversation is not necessary after somebody shows your true colors and you want to move forward is if it ended nasty. If it ended nasty, or if it ended like a whatever, it is what it is type deal, in that case, I don't think you have to go back and say anything else, because at that point, we about our peace, okay? So we not about to go back to the table saying, I feel like this and I think that, and somebody already has a nonchalant, I don't care attitude. If that's how they feel and that's where it got left at, then that's where we just want to leave it. I had mentioned in one of my previous videos, in my self-growth video, that there was a situation where a friend had told me that she needed to reconsider our friendship, and that made me feel some type of way. I just felt like I came from a place of love and I was respectful. So for her to still feel that way, it just kind of made me feel like, well, dang, I didn't understand why she felt like that, and I was being real and open. And for me, once we did come back to the table and start, like, we cool now, but when that time came for us to talk and she came back to me to talk again, I don't think I ever expressed truly how I felt about how that went. So even though we had got through everything, that's something that still bugged me. But at that point, I had to deal with that internally on my own, because I had an opportunity to say something about it and I didn't take it. So if you don't take that opportunity to say what you feel and what you think, when time goes on, it's like you already missed that window. I mean, you can always still say something if you really want to, if it's bugging you that bad, but it's just gonna be weird because y'all already were in that space to do that, and then here you are X amount of time later coming back with something that was old that y'all should have already gotten through. So it'll just be best to, I'm just a firm believer in, you know, just saying what you gotta say, just saying how you feel, especially when the time is right. Because even if you feel like something like, oh, that's beyond me, that's petty, you're just gonna carry it with you, when you should take the time to just go ahead and say it so you can just get it off of your chest, or you just gonna be left alone healing from that by yourself. So yeah, communication is just key. It's always important, and it's very important in this step. So let's go ahead and get into the second thing. The next thing you need to do or not do, which is very important, is to not dwell. Do not dwell on the situation, because as humans, our minds have the habit of just thinking in the most negative way. And so when things happen to us that's associated with pain of some sort, our minds tend to go back to it quite frequently. You can tell somebody the story, you can tell somebody what's going on, what happened, I would say 3 times tops. If you done told this story to somebody, a different person, 3 times, do not tell that story no more. You do not need to tell a 4th person that story, because for what? At this point, you just reliving your pain. You just want to continue to get validated and that you were right and that person was wrong, and at that point, it's not healthy. So if you need to get it off your chest, if you need to talk to somebody, your mama, your cousin, your therapist, or whoever about the situation, please feel free to do that. But after, I would say, a 3rd time, do not talk about it anymore. You need to move on. You need to move on. And the best way to do this is to start to reposition your mind. Every time you feel yourself thinking about it, you're going to have to take your mind to another place, because if you keep dwelling on it, it's just going to build something inside of you. And every time, even if you feel like, for the most part, that you're not mad or sad or whatever, and you live your life day to day normally, if you see this person or these people, hear their names, see their names, see a picture, something inside of you is just going to get triggered, and you're just going to feel this real ugly feeling that you do not want to feel. So that's where that forgiveness comes in, where I was talking about earlier. And dwelling on the situation is only going to make these nasty feelings just build up inside of you. So the best way to reprogram your mind is, every time you think of the situation or the person or whatever, you have to think about something else. Or you could just say out loud,
dang, I'm thinking about it again. I'm glad that situation is over anyway.
And then just start thinking about something else. Sometimes you have to say it out loud to bring attention to yourself and to your mind that you're thinking about this thing again. You're thinking about this person or these people again, because your mind is always going. Sometimes we don't even really realize what we're doing. So you need to bring attention to that you're doing it again, and then start thinking about something else, so you can stop putting so much energy into this old situation and just continue on with your life. That is very important, because if you don't learn to stop dwelling on the situation, it's going to follow you, and years later you still going to be telling this story like it happened yesterday. And from here, the rest of the video is basically going to be, if you decide to love from a distance, if you decide to just be cordial, if you decide to be done with this person forever, that's what the rest of this video is pertaining to. So the next thing that you need to do is fill in the time that you were talking to them, hanging with them, dealing with them, with something else. This person that showed you their true colors could have been a partner, a friend, a best friend, a cousin, somebody. At some point, if they had some place in your life, there's going to be a void there. You got to fill it with something, and you should fill it with something that is positive to you, that feels good to you, until things start to become more normal for you. Going for a walk, coloring, watching a show, but be careful with that, because people tend to get on social media and get on TV to escape reality. We're not doing this to escape reality. We're doing this just to get back to ourselves, give back to ourselves as well, by filling in that empty space with goodness. That's very important. And the next thing that you need to do is think of the positives. Everything that we go through has a positive and a negative side to it. It's easy to think about the negatives, but you have to try your best to think about the positives. If it's somebody that you fell out with, you can go,
man, God, I did not expect that to come with that relationship. But Lord, I thank you for bringing me that information and just showing me what I needed to see, so I can have only people that love me and care about me in my circle.
and that's it. You gotta look at the positive side. You gotta take goodness from whatever happened, so you can just go on with your life. Just put it in your knowledge box. You that much smarter, you that much wiser and knowledgeable, and you can just take that, what you know now, and just continue on with your life to have a better, happier, freer, more peaceful life. The next thing you need to do is so important, and that is to do you without a second thought. Do you? Don't care about who watching you. If that person looking at you, oh, I wonder if he looking at my videos. Oh, I wonder if she saw my snap and saw what I posted. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Do you just be yourself? You cannot let yourself be hinged to whoever that person was, whoever those people were in that way. They decided to do what they're doing, and you decided to do what you're doing. Y'all living your life. Do not live your life according to whatever they have going on or whatever they might think, because that ties in with proving yourself, which I talked about in my self-growth video as well. We are not trying to prove ourselves to anybody. We're not living for anybody. We're not doing that. Don't be pressed with who or who is not paying attention. You don't need other people to make you feel validated. And the last thing that you need to do is just be at peace. Be at peace with the situation. If you follow everything I said regarding this topic that was in my last video, and you did everything in this video, you will have no concern in your heart about what you did right or what you did wrong. You will feel peace inside knowing that you went about things the right way. It's nothing that you could have said to make anybody care for you, love you, or anything like that. And we're not about that. We're not about to be manipulating people into loving us, caring about us, showing up for us. None of that. You did what you did, they did what they did, y'all had y'all words, and that's it. Come to peace with it, and you will be good, and you will know you're good, and you can move on with your life with grace. And that's just that on that. That's just that on that, baby. So yeah, if you got people that's in your life moving funny, because there will be some people at some point who move funny, especially when you start elevating in life and they are not, and they are way far behind you. Some people get jealous even if they don't want to be jealous. It's just a natural feeling that we have inside that arises up against us. If y'all talked about it, maybe you have gotten to the root of why people was acting weird on you. Some people, you just never know why they act the way they act. Some people will never be that real with you to be able to tell you something like that. So you just have to come into peace with that some people have some things going on in their own that you can't do anything about or that you can't fix. You never know why people don't come to talk to you about something or why they treat you some way unless they are real with themselves first. Being real with yourself is kind of hard because we be having real ugly, nasty feelings in ourselves, towards ourselves, or about other people that are embarrassing to share. Some people can come to terms with that and be honest and be open about it, and some people just can't. We are all on a different journey. So I think having some sense of understanding is important, but not all the time to where you always that person showing up. Sometimes somebody else got to be that person to show up. I'll say something when I feel the need to say something, when I truly feel some type of way or something is on my heart, or if I feel any type of way where the Lord is telling me I need to go speak. But in a situation like that, it's like, no, baby, I don't feel no type of way, but you do. So I'm not about to step in when you feel some type of way. That's your job, for you to step in when you feel some type of way. I don't know. People just be weird sometimes. It's just so many factors that goes into it. You just have to be able to go about this in a well-balanced way to where you're not going crazy, and when you're not always trying to be the peacemaker and putting yourself on the line, but where you're not feeling bad about yourself either. I done been through a lot with this. So this is not new for me, and I'm just here to share with y'all what I know. I hope it's been helpful. I hope y'all really like this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. It helps me out, honey. It helps out my channel. But that's it for now, y'all, and until next time, peace and love. I'm mad.